first session, automations to save tons of cost. People in your business today are your most valuable resource. If you look at your P&L, your accounting statement, it's also the most expensive line item. But people, and the reason for that is because they are the most valuable, most important part about running a moving company today. The unfortunate reality is that a lot of busy work takes over. You have tons of data entry that you might be looking at a spreadsheet versus a software or a filing cabinet or a piece of paperwork or a third-party system. And you're just manually copying data back and forth from your email to your system every single day. You have paperwork, mountains of bill of ladings, or payroll timesheets for each of your crews to sign off. And you're looking through these manually every single day to make sure you didn't miss anything or make sure you're not losing anything. And that takes a ton of time for your team. And especially in sales and customer service, you have to constantly remember how to type up an email, what to say in a text message, and you're following up. You're going back and forth with the customer over and over and over to make sure that your customer can have a good experience. But then delivering a good move and making a great customer experience is the end result, but most of your time today is spent on the busy work behind it to make those things a reality. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the costs that you might be paying for today. And these costs are hidden because if you look at your accounting statements and your bottom line, these do not appear as individual line items. But as I talk through these, maybe you might be able to agree. You can also disagree, no problem. But maybe you might be able to see that these might be hidden costs that you're paying for within the business today. When you're manually typing an email, sure, it's a few seconds, maybe a minute, text messages, retyping and rewriting something from one system to another, calculating payroll, printing out individual pay sheets for each of your crew members, communicating with your team internally about the same things. Let's say someone on your team, like the salesperson, knows something about a move. Now you have the dispatcher, the crews, the customer service team, the owner, everyone reaching out to that salesperson about the same thing because they're the only person that knows it and it's all in their heads. You're texting and calling crews and customers over and over. So this is all of the manual data entry work that we're so used to because we're doing this every single day. We're used to it and we accept that it's a part of the business, but these are costs that you're spending to make your business successful. And then there's missing and forgetting work. So forgetting to charge for supplies on a move could be an example. Labor is when you have to pay overtime when you didn't have to, or you're incorrectly charging for hours and giving away paid time to your customers. Maybe they were off by half an hour and your customers are arguing. Sometimes it's just easier to give that 30 minutes away than fairly getting what you work for. And then missed collections or delayed collections, customers who forget to pay their storage bill over and over, and you just let that slide, or claims that just kind of sit there and you're not tracking them because there's just so much else to do within the business. First, I'm going to talk about that left side, the manual work, the exact manual things that you're doing, typing on a keyboard, writing by hand. If you add these things up, for example, doing a data entry of a job might take a few minutes. You equate that to an average office employee's hourly salary. It's about $1 that you're spending for every single job that you're running. You have calls, you have emails, you have paperwork that you need to get signed, you have texts, individual texts that you're sending for each job. You have payroll, reminders for jobs, communicating with each other manually. Like I said, everyone reaching out to that salesperson to call them to ask what happened, checking all the paperwork for your job manually, quality control. All of these things add up. And if you add these things up, maybe it's about $72 a job in office hours spent. That's about 3 hours Now, we all know that we spend much more than that in terms of calling customers and setting up a job across your entire team per job, right? Running payroll, booking a move, everything adds up to more than 3 hours. But the actual manual work that we think could be automated and create more opportunities within your business, maybe it's about 2 to 3 hours that could easily just be taken care of by automations. And then missing and forgetting work, improper calculations by crews, delaying responses, losing paperwork, delaying collections. And then most importantly, when things are so busy during the summer, leads just slide. Your email inbox fills up or your CRM fills up, and then you're just losing track of some of these leads and you're not following up on time. And each lead is so expensive, sometimes up to $100 per lead that you spent to bring them into the business. And if you don't close them, that's another opportunity to miss revenue for your business too. And these just do not appear on your financial statement today. But this is the cost, the opportunity cost of missing and forgetting work. When you add these up, maybe about $63 a job in lost revenue. So you add those two things up, manual work and forgetting work, it's about $135 a job in missed opportunity and wasted time, about 13.5% of $1,000 average residential household good job. I wanted to run a poll for everyone here. If you can quickly give your answer, especially if you haven't set up automations in your business yet. Do you feel like these are accurate? Do you think, oh, this is way too high? Wonjun, what are you talking about? We don't spend any of that time. Maybe you're not sure. Give us your feedback. Awesome. Cool. So it looks like for some, it's some of these, but for a lot of the people here, these seem like actual real costs. So we want to help you solve this problem. Let's talk about automations. Automations within Supermove completely cut work from your team. Matt's Moving mentioned the auto upselling email. Whenever you send a quote, an hour later, let's send them more services about upselling. Now, this is one less thing that your sales team has to worry about. How did we do? 3 days later, let's send an SMS to ask them for feedback. And let's also follow up with a review request on Google or Yelp. And then quote follow-up. Follow-ups are so important that we have a dedicated session for Amanda to talk more about, but you can help your team remember to follow up on time immediately to make sure that you're booking leads and not losing leads within the business. You can roll out the red carpet for your customers. Sometimes automations might feel like, oh, I don't want to sound like a machine. We want to sound like people. Automations can do that for you. A lot of the automations that we have can be designed to have your own company culture and your voice shine through in various text messages and emails and different communications across your team. We want your customers to truly feel the benefit of automations and so that you don't have to worry about it. Automations can also be tied with tasks. There are a lot of things that your team has to remember to do every single day. So this is a screenshot of our product where on the left is the whole project, the job, the move. On the left, there's a toolbar which shows the tasks, everything that needs to be completed by your team, like a follow-up or check the paperwork or run payroll, everything about the move that needs to be done. Automations can create that template of tasks for you automatically based on the project, based on the move, based on the customer. And once you do that, now someone on your team doesn't have to remind people to do things. The software can remind people to do things on their own. And the best part about that is you can track this across your entire company. So if someone's out of office, someone can step in and help that person complete that task. And you can see everything that needs to be done across the company once you set this up. Automations are even more flexible and unique because we've tied it to what we call project tags. You can think about those as labels for your move. So here's a move, and here's a label called collect deposit. So in this automation, when you accept the quote, when the customer accepts the quote, we need to remember to collect the deposit. So have Supermove automatically tag that so that you can filter the rest of your moves to know which moves you have to collect a deposit for. And these are unique tags. You can create as many as you want. We have a default set that a lot of customers enjoy. And VIP customer, treehouse, anything. And automations can add project tags. And even more cool is that automations can be kicked off by project tags. So let's say you added the collect deposit label to a move. Instead of someone having to go in and click and type up an email to collect the deposit, Supermove will automatically, as soon as that tag is added, go ahead and send the collect deposit email to your customer. Super cool stuff for treehouses too. Maybe you have to send a text message to your crews to remember to bring treehouse supplies the day of the move if a treehouse tag is added. Super flexible, super unique, and really, really powerful for your business.